A pivotal match in the Western landscape will paint its picture in the Bluegrass State. Lexington Sporting Club are in the Western Cluster, hot in the chase for their first ever postseason berth. Meanwhile, El Paso are a step ahead, hoping to bolster their chances on top of toying with the idea of hosting a playoff game. Welcome one and all to the broadcast on ESPN+. My name is Mark Schoenster. I'm joined by Coach Chris Nurse on the show. As you can see, these two teams haven't quite clinched a playoff spot yet. They're in a good position to make the postseason with just 3 games left to go, counting this one tonight for both of these sides. Lexington here at home once again for the first time in about a month. And Chris, they have been pretty good recently in front of their home fans.
Yeah, they've got a rich streak of form at home, which is why this match will mean a little bit more important to them. If they're able to win this match and win their last 2, they still have an opportunity of finishing in the top 4 and having a home place for the playoffs. However, they're still just 4 points out of being outside of the playoffs. So ramifications on both ends of the table.
The margins are thin one direction or another, but when it comes to performing at home, an off-bench option, Forster Ajago, is something we'll be looking to in the second half.
Yeah, he's hitting form at the right time. 4 goals in the last 5 home matches. He'll be excited to get out there tonight. A ratio of almost 1 goal in every 3 games isn't too bad, but he's the go-to guy for the goals, and that's where the game matters most, inside the 18-yard box, clinical finishing.
Meanwhile, on the other side of things, El Paso Locomotive looking to move on from what took place in September. It was not their month, which meant that they went from very comfortably being in a home playoff spot to now having to fight for it.
Yeah, and I think, while September wasn't a great month, it was maybe a challenge and a wake-up call that they maybe need to really push and achieve their playoff aspirations. Now they're going to have to turn things around in October, hopefully pick up some momentum, some positive energy going towards the playoffs.
Well, here are a couple of the options they're looking to for that positivity. So many different options offensively for the side.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the strengths that they'll be a little less concerned with, that there's a number of players who are getting themselves on the score sheet, close to 10 goals, which is a great return over the course of the year. You can see Moreno here with 9, Cabrera with 13, and a couple others chipping in, Avila and Torres with 7 and 5 respectively. So they have a number of different goal scorers. They're not just relying on one person.
And that makes it that much harder to prepare for if you're the opposition. October seems to be treating Los Locos better than September. Will that trend continue, or do Lexington maintain their home form? Lineups in the first 45 minutes of answering that question is up next on ESPN+.
Who is Lexington Sporting Club? We are the professional soccer team in the heart of the Bluegrass. From our Youth Academy to the Women's Super League to the Men's USL Championship team, we're building the future. From every corner of Lexington, we are united under one crest. This is your team. This is your community. Together, we are creating our story and leaving our mark. This isn't just any club. It's a club to call your own. Get your tickets today at lexsporting.com/tickets.
Success isn't a game of chance. It's about making the right moves. Just like Lexington Sporting Club, Commonwealth Credit Union aims to win by helping you defend your goals and keeping your money on the attack. As the official credit union of Lexington Sporting Club, we're empowering success on the field and in your finances with smarter banking options and unbeatable service. Are you ready to take the lead? Then get the home field advantage for your finances, only with Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
We live with you, build with you, grow up with you, and dream with you. At Central Bank, we belong to the same communities you do. You're our neighbors, friends, and business partners. And through the relationships we build with you every day, we consistently serve you better. That's what highly personal banking is all about. We start with you.
This is where worry turns into relief. Where confusion turns into answers. This is where your family can turn to the experts for the big things and the little things. Extraordinary care is right here. UK Healthcare, the power of advanced medicine.
We're back here at Lexington SC Stadium. We are moments away from Lexington Sporting Club and El Paso Locomotive doing battle for the second time this season and the second time in the series history. Given this is the voyage year in the USL Championship for the home side. And this is what they'll be trotting out, a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, a number of changes from the previous game, and it's going to be interesting to see whether that's just fresh legs to keep players on the toes, or Terry Boss is already thinking about the playoffs in the back of his mind. Obviously, a number of changes impacts the cohesion and chemistry of the team, so it's going to be really interesting to see how that impacts the performance tonight.
Meanwhile, on the other side of things, not as many changes as the road crew trying to keep some momentum going here in October.
Yeah, looking at this is a little bit more familiarity, as we spoke about. September wasn't a fantastic month, but there's been a little bit of tweaks in terms of formation, and the focus in training has been on becoming defensively solid. They feel like they were a team that conceded the least amounts of shots early in the season, but when teams did shoot, they did score. So it's about not allowing teams to get shots on target. So it's going to be interesting to see defensively how they've been able to adapt.
It's the white unis for El Paso Locomotive and the Kentucky blue for Lexington. You can see them there. Brooks Thompson once again getting a look in goal after the red card suspension to Ketterer in their last match against Tulsa. Well, they basically split the reps this season as far as starts are concerned, Thompson and Ketterer. So it's definitely a Lexington team that's comfortable with that man in goal. Meanwhile, Sebastian Moramora in for Jamali Waite, who's currently on international duty. Officiating crew in green this evening, and they're led by Edson Carvajal. A critical match in the Western Conference. It's a 6-pointer, both sides looking to solidify their stakes in the playoffs this season. And also, if everything goes well, potentially finding a home game there in the race, along with San Antonio, as well as others. Just goes to show you how thin that margin is in the Western Conference. You're both worrying about making the playoffs, but also aspiring to get that fourth and final home game spot. That's seemingly the last one that's really up for grabs.
And as we spoke about in the pregame, for Lexington, this home facility has been a fortress over the past few games. So it's something they're going to want to try to take advantage of going into the playoffs. Of course, it doesn't always pan out like that in knockout competitions and in playoff situations, but knowing the form that they've had and how confident they've been and been able to pick up wins and points here, it's definitely something they're going to want to utilize going into the playoff games, where every little inch and margin makes a huge difference.
You're hearing the voice of Coach Chris Nurse. I'm Mark Schoenster. We welcome you in on the show here on ESPN+. Blaine Ferry, one of the later acquisitions for Lexington this season. Now Hafferty. Cross whipped over top, headed down by Burke. And it's going to roll away. I believe that was Firmino closest by. Sebastian Moramora able to chase that one down and get to it first.
You see the aerial presence that Burke has inside the box here. Two players on him, finds a way to muscle his way around both of them and almost provide an assist to his teammate, showing his threat from aerial balls from a very early moment in this game.
Ball kept in bounds by Ricky Ruiz, and now Burke will carry it forward. Burke, that's a lovely ball. Can it be squared across the middle by Epps? It's unsuccessful in that endeavor.
Good start to the game from Burke. 2 minutes into the game, he's been pivotal in two key moments. First, a header in the box, trying to set up his teammate, and here picking up the ball on the flank, driving and crossing into the ball with his left foot. It's not a bad delivery whatsoever. Epps probably should have done a little bit better with that.
Let's take a look at Toyota keys to the match for these two sides, Chris. It's such an important game for each of them. What do they need to do?
Yeah, Lexington, in the few games that they've won, they've had more success when they've kept a clean sheet. When they kept the clean sheet, they've won by tight margins, 1-0, and been able to sustain that. When they concede goals, more often than not, they've been the team that's lost in the night. So for them, take advantage of the opportunity to keep a clean sheet, keep their track record and pick up points, and potentially keep the dream alive of potentially hosting a home game in the playoffs. For El Paso, they're a little bit ahead of Lexington right now, and they'll want to widen that gap. So it's important for them to pick up the 3 points, put a little bit of separation between themselves and Lexington. and then start to build momentum and confidence as we get towards the playoff. As we mentioned, September wasn't a fantastic month, but there's no better time than to pick up momentum and form now going towards those playoff games.
It's their first foray into the attacking half. DeRoma's knocked over. Such an integral part to that El Paso Locomotive midfield. Omar Cabrera, the man in charge of the squad this year. Veteran head coach in the USL.
And it was interesting to him talk about actually looking forward to playing on this pitch at this stadium, because he believes that his team performs better when they're on wide surfaces, and it's a good surface and they can get it down and play on a wide field. Of course, not all the stadiums throughout the USL Championship are the same, but this is one of the better ones. There's a fantastic surface, a big field that allows lots of time and space.
Lexington, such an odd duck in the Western Conference given how, well, east they are in the grand scheme of things. So on one side, they do a ton of traveling themselves, but it also requires these Western Conference teams to go quite a far away from home to come play Lexington. So when you have that nice stadium to at least come to when you make that long trek, it makes it a little bit easier of a pill to swallow.
For sure. And they do a good job with their formation, as you can see that when they're building it, it's a 3-5-2, and the fullbacks get very high and wide, stretching the full width for the field, which is what he's talking about. On big fields, it gives them a lot of time and space in possession of the ball. It's really difficult for the team out of possession to close them down. When they transition, they almost drop into almost a back five.
DeRoma has to track back for that one. Smooth operator on the ball, though, DeRoma. He's feeling some pressure there. He'll lose possession. Marcus Epps, the one who was on top of him in that moment. Rough loss on the road against FC Tulsa for Lexington last time out. They look back, assess the game, and they went down a man about 40 minutes into that match and immediately conceded a goal on the free kick that ensued. That red card being to Ketterer, so Thompson having to step into that game. But those first 40 minutes in particular, they felt really good about, as we'll have our first booking of the evening. Edson Carvajal digging into his pocket early on in this affair. Armando Moreno knocked over.
Definitely a little bit of a high foot there for sure. And just looking at a number of red cards for Lexington in the build-up. Red card against New Mexico, red card against Tulsa. You know, to give yourself the best opportunity of success, you do need to keep 11 players on the field in the USL Championship. If you go down to 10, there's a high possibility that you're going to struggle. Yes, some teams do go down to 10 and still manage to pull off results, but more often than not, you're going to struggle once you go down to 10. So seeing their last 4 games, they've gone down to 10 men twice. Yellow card in the 6th minute isn't a trend that they'd want to continue. So I'm sure it's something that they're talking about and addressing while they do want to be aggressive and on the front foot. I don't think it's consistent that they want to finish games with 10 men too often in the remaining games of the season, and for sure not into the playoffs. So discipline and managing emotions is definitely an area that they need to tighten up on a little bit.
Gail Gilbert with that yellow card, brought to you by Hicks and Fumpson. Early on, they'll have to be careful the center back, as they've got basically the whole game to play. And that one will be a foul called on Blaine Ferry. Ferry making his 11th appearance and 11th start in league play this year after being brought in as a mid-season acquisition.
Yeah, and as much as you'll want to be careful, it's going to be interesting to see if El Paso will now target him and try to really play on him and force him to make a mistake, because one poorly timed tackle is the last man, and he's going to be taking an early shower. And he's now going to have to second-guess his decision-making. He's not going to be able to be so eager to go and challenge for the ball as he would without that yellow card. So it's going to be really interesting to see how he's able to adapt his game, and if El Paso specifically start to target him.
Yeah, it's a really sticky situation to be put into as a defender, because you could be overly cautious and then you're going to give leeway to one of these dangerous El Paso Locomotive strikers, or you go a little bit too far and then suddenly, like you said, early showers. That's the worst of the two, but you don't want to be too cautious on the other end and concede a goal too easily.
And I think you can have no question marks in the referee's decision. His foot was extremely high, given the location of the ball.
Ruiz will drive this one in, headed towards goal, and it's in the back of the net! El Paso Locomotive with an early strike on a set piece. Memo Diaz nodding it home.
Fantastic start to the game here. What a brilliant delivery here. Whipped in with pace. Just guiding it past the goalkeeper. He doesn't really stand much chance from that distance. Just redirects it away from the goalkeeper to give El Paso the 1-0 lead away from home in what's already been described as a playoff game. Huge ramifications for both of these teams.
Memo Diaz looked like it may have taken a glance off the head of a Lexington player before it reached him. Brooks Thompson nowhere to be seen. So like you said, just had to redirect it towards goal. He has his second of the season. And El Paso Locomotive on the road have the early advantage against Lexington.
The work was done with the delivery though. It's whipped in with so much pace, trajectory, any connection on that on frame, and they often end up in the back of the net. Really needs to give his teammate a lot of credit for their service into the box. For Lexington now, that's already your wake-up call. You're 1-0 down, and you know that you can't afford to give away too many corner kicks in a game like this when you know that Diaz has the capability to deliver with that type of service.
Kendall Burks tosses in a ball for response. Went from Burks to Burke.
And it's interesting because you see both teams using the weapons that they have or the resources that they have to their advantage. We've already spoken about the threat that Burke poses in the air. And then you're looking at Burke, who has a long throw also. So you have Burke up top, the big number 99, able of winning the ball in the air, keeping the team in possession. And then you have Burks, the left-sided centre-back, who's a fantastic long throw. So both teams recognizing their strengths and their weaknesses and using them to their maximum right now.
At this point in the year, these coaches, these players, they're familiar with everything that they can and can't do and what they're good at doing. And you have so many months of playing. You have a good understanding of where your best win conditions are.
And what's interesting is I remember there was a point in time when Rory Delap was playing for Stoke City and he had a long throw that he could almost launch into the box from the halfway line. And people didn't necessarily like that style of play because they felt like it was...
Service sent inside, and Lexington are not going to equalize because the offside flag has gone up. Thumbs down from the fans in the stands.
It's a brilliant delivery here from Epps. Beats the first defender, and we've spoken a number of times in this first half already how good Corey Burke can be in the air, and this is an absolutely fantastic header. Just uses the pace on the ball and glances it past the goalkeeper. The slick surface, once that bounces, there's no way that Mora in goal is going to get to it, but unfortunately ruled out for just being a little bit too eager and offside. But both teams started very well in this game in offense.
LSC fans, visit lexsporting.com to get your latest Lexington SC news, merchandise, and discounted ticket offers. That's lexsporting.com.
12 minutes into the game, and Corey Burke has probably had already 2 assist opportunities and a disallowed goal. You can see he's showing up to play today. The tenacity, the work rate, already pressing from the front. A handful for these El Paso Locomotive defenders.
Looking like a man on a mission. So a goal early on off the corner kick by Memo Diaz. And then a disallowed goal for Lexington in response just moments later.
33-year-old Corey Burke. Probably a little bit disappointed yesterday to see his Reggae boys go down 2-0 to Curacao in the World Cup qualifiers. They'll need a win midweek against Bermuda to catch back their momentum. 31 caps for Jamaica and 7 goals. Not short of international experience whatsoever, Corey Burke.
Speaking of players who are disappointed in that result, Jamali Waite, who is currently on the roster for Jamaica right now, the starting goalkeeper for El Paso Locomotive. Isn't the starter there, Andre Blake from the Philadelphia Union, has that one on lockdown, but that 2-0 loss yesterday to Curacao.
Yeah, but everything starts to creep up a little bit closer as we get closer to the World Cup. It's great to see USL Championship players involved in these big international matches. Of course, the US will be hosting some of that game, so it makes it all a little bit more exciting.
You know, this league is just waiting to capitalize off of the soccer boom that's going to come following that World Cup, because, I mean, there's no better way to get people to fall in love with the beautiful game than with a World Cup, especially when it's in your own country.
Yeah, and with Canada, Mexico, US hosting, of course, it opened up a few extra spots for nations within the CONCACAF region. So there's an opportunity for your Jamaicas, your Haitis, some of the other good CONCACAF teams to qualify for this World Cup and just increase the excitement for everybody. I think you go all the way back to 1998 when Jamaica qualified for the World Cup last. There was tons of excitement. It was Reggae Boy shirts all over the place. The culture that it brings, the excitement it brings, the togetherness. It's always a special time.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Chris. Bear will play it up the pitch as Lexington are on the hunt to find a response after conceding off a corner kick. Rodriguez brings it out to his left for Epps. Epps rolling it in centrally. It's tapped away by Alfaro.
Whilst the score does favor El Paso right now, the possession and ball movement has all been in favor of Lexington. As you can see, the time and space that they're having on the ball in possession, getting behind the midfield line, but they just haven't been able to break that goal yet, despite a number of chances from Burke. The build-up play has been good from Lexington, probably just a little bit more patience.
Hafferty still has it. Joe Hafferty to the top of the 18. He releases, but couldn't quite step into that one the way he would have liked.
Had everybody out their seats with the run. Taking on 2-3 players, gets his opportunity in front of goal to rip a shot. And scuffs it at the final moment. Some excellent creativity there from Hafferty.
This one will be chopped up the pitch, juggled down. Here's Gabby Torres. He has a run being made. We connect there. Offside flag will go up. Cheers to local beer. West 6th Brewing is proud to be the official craft beer of Lexington Sporting Club. Find their locally crafted beers all around the state of Kentucky. From the flagship West 6th IPA to Sixer Light Lager, there's something for everyone. Head to west6th.com to visit one of our dynamic tap rooms and learn more about Stadium Ale, the official craft beer of Lexington SC.
It's really interesting, the mindset that these players are in right now. So if you're Lexington, you know that whilst you are just 3 points away from being in a home position to host the playoff game, you're also just 3 points away from being outside of the playoffs. So being 1-0 down now, in the back of your mind, you know that the opportunity to host the home playoff game has gone, but you also know that now you're potentially in a dogfight to make the playoffs with the teams beneath you. So for Lexington, they've got to come out guns blazing. They've got to chase the game. They've got to try and push the narrative. For El Paso, you now know that you've created a little bit more separation, up to 5 points between yourself and Lexington. So do you defend a little bit? Do you stay expansive and continue to push for goals? I think if you're El Paso, a point, even if you walk away from a point tonight, it's not a bad result. I think if you leave yourself wide open, you potentially could concede 2 and end up walking away with nothing. So I think they need to just adapt their shape a little bit to be able to handle Lexington. Right now, that possession that's building up, that pressure that's building up, will only culminate in a goal at some point in time. I think they've got to adjust their formation to match them like for like and get closer to players, especially once they're in the defensive half.
USL on the CBS Sports Network closes out October with a Championship Western Conference showdown. Playoff-bound New Mexico United take on Oakland Roots SC Sunday, October 19th at 5 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. You mentioned being potentially happy with a point on the road if you're El Paso Locomotive. That's exactly what they just did last time out, a 0-0 draw at Championship Soccer Stadium against Orange County. A game that, although it was 0-0, there was quite a few opportunities. 12 shots for El Paso, Orange County at 11. 5 on goal for El Paso to the 1 for Orange County, and get their 6th clean sheet of the year. Certainly a game where both sides had moments where they felt they could have walked away with all 3 points, but as you just mentioned, you're more happy to get a point when you're the team on the road than perhaps when you're the host side. Yeah,
if you look at Lexington's record, the last time they won without keeping a clean sheet was all the way back to August 23rd when they beat Oakland Roots 2-1. Every other time that they've conceded, they've either lost the game or they've tied the game. So keeping a clean sheet, it has been really pivotal for Lexington in order to be successful. Of course, that's not possible tonight, so it's going to be interesting to see if they can get multiple goals in order to get a win at home, which they've been very good at doing consistently recently.
They certainly look good for it here in the first 20 minutes. As you've been pointing out, basically been dictating all of the possession and knocking the ball around the attacking half. It was just that one foray into the other half for El Paso, earns a corner kick. Which is dangerous, because if you talk to Danny Cruz with Louisville City, who are maybe the best team between both conferences right now, he's pretty content when the other team has possession of the ball. He's not too concerned as long as they're able to counter-attack efficiently. They feel like when the other team has the ball is when his team is at its best, because when they can win it and break quickly is when they're most dangerous. Rodriguez takes a step. Oh, he gets a man to slide, plays it in centrally, and earns his team a corner kick. It'll be our first Commonwealth Credit Union corner kick for Lexington SC this evening. Delio Rodriguez will whip this one in from the left corner flag. Yeah, you see little glimpses of brilliance in the attack for Lexington, whether it's Burke, Rodriguez, Epps, all been very lively in these opening 20 minutes for Lexington. Service lofted in, couldn't be kept in bounds. Too much air under that one. Fans, visit lexsporting.com to shop at the Lexington SC Team Store, your one-stop destination for all of the latest LSC gear and official merchandise. From kits to scarves and hats, we've got everything you need to show off your club pride. That's lexsporting.com. See a lot of that Lexington green in the crowd. They've made their stop to the store. I think that's one of the best things about the USL Championship. You look behind this goal, look at all the different flags, the different ethnicities, the different makeups that form the culture of this league. It's not just one style of play. It's a mixture of different styles, different meanings, different joys from many different nations that make the USL Championship so exciting to watch. It really is a blend, and then you get a fun clash of styles in every single matchup. Different philosophies from coaches, from the players they bring in. I mean, there are not many countries large enough to have a league like the USL does in the United States, where there is so much geographical difference between some of these cities. I mean, look, Lexington and El Paso, I mean, yeah, pretty different locations. And in case you didn't tell, I was born and grew up in England. And believe me, if you're playing in the lower leagues in England, or you're playing in the majority of people you're playing with are English, so you learn one style of play, you learn one culture, you learn one way of thinking. Out here, there's so much different cultures and positive different cultures. You're learning the Brazilian way, you're learning the Argentinian way, you're learning the Venezuelan way, on top of all the different European influences that it has on the sport here. If you really open your mind and
and you're like a sponge. There's so much to absorb and learn playing in the US. Of course, it has to be learning from the right people with the right intentions, because just because you're from Colombia, it doesn't mean that you know the sport in the same way as the people who grew up playing it or teaching it or being educated in that sport. So I think there's so much positivity that comes from that, the diversity in the USL Championship.
Throughout the year, you get to see all of those different tactical ideas break out, but also you get to see now here that we're in crunch time of the season, the kind of character that you are in these matches and how these different players with their different backgrounds can respond to this adversity.
And that's why I alluded to pre-game with El Paso. You really find out about your players and your team when things aren't going well. So the spell that they had in September was a real character test, and it provides the opportunity to say, okay, let's really find out what we're about. Things didn't go well, let's see how we respond. You still have a couple of games left in October before the playoffs, and if you can respond in the right way, you put yourself in a fantastic situation going into the playoffs. If you've never been tested in that situation of being down, how to respond when things are going against you. Maybe you go into the playoffs and you go down a goal and you don't know how to respond in that way. Right. Having faced that adversity in September, now they should be well equipped. If they're a team that's really going to go on and have a big impact in the playoffs, they should be well equipped to handle everything. Because as we've seen in previous years, the #1 team doesn't always go on to win the playoffs.
It's honestly shocking how frequently that happens. Epps slides it in nicely. Ferry leaves it for Burke. Mora knocks it away.
The pressure's mounting up. Despite not being on the score sheet yet, I've been very impressed with Lexington's attack in the opening 25 minutes of this game.
And they keep on churning. Another cross whipped in. Falls down. Williams lays it out to the right-hand side. Lifted service. Oh, Firmino was going for glory.
What's impressive is that Lexington are able to threaten in so many different ways, whether it's from headers, whether it's from long shots from outside the box. Here again, it's Burke. Probably the 5th goal attempt that he's been involved in this opening half. And then trying a bicycle kick. They're not short of confidence whatsoever, Lexington.
Nick Firmino, 3 goals in league play this season. He was trying to make the 4th one a memorable one.
But Corey Burke has had an outstanding start to this game so far. I think he's done everything right apart from get the ball in the back of the net in a registered way. He's got it in the back of the net, but it's called off for offside. But he's had a fantastic start to today's game. You can see the importance he brings. 33 years old, still a very, very important part of this squad. And I highlight that because, as you can tell, squads are getting a lot younger these days, and players are being retired before they're ready to be retired just because of their age. And I think it's still important that if you're good enough, you're young enough, should I say. It used to be if you're good enough, you're old enough. I would say if you're good enough now, you're young enough to continue playing.
Well, how about Burke there? Corey Burke, straight down the middle.
Good feet for a big guy also.
And they have the ball once again. Epps. Ferry able to tap it back to Williams. Rolls it out to the right-hand side, tracking it down and not having the right touch to collect it. Joe Hafferty. I'd love to extend on that conversation, though, talking about Corey Burke and his age, because I think it fits in really nice with the previous conversation we were having about responding to adversity, because when you have a young player who's playing really well, you don't know how they're going to respond to those moments, but Corey Burke has been in every situation that you could think of in the professional game, and you know that he's equipped for these games like this.
Yeah, and you can quickly see a player's character. In a situation like this, where we've spoken as a playoff game, he could look back at all he's accomplished and maybe not go into this with the mindset that this game is everything. But you can see how he's approaching this game, pressing from the front, closing down defenders, closing down the goalkeepers, leading the team from the front. It's such an important position when you can have a striker that carries that mentality. The rest of the players behind follow, because essentially he provides the opportunity for the midfielders to step and press, for the centre-backs to then step and press also, because he's pressing from the front.
Speedy Williams is going to be given a yellow card for that challenge. That yellow card brought to you by Hicks and Funkson. So that's now Williams and Gibert, who are in the books under 30 minutes into this match.
As we highlighted, Lexington is a team that's seen probably a few too many red cards in their past few games than they would have liked. And it's an area of concern that they really need to tread with caution. Not just for the remainder of this game, but to get good habits, emotional management, timing your tackles well going into the playoffs. While you do encourage the aggression and the pressing and the intensity, going down to 10 men is never going to lead to positive results.
Ricky Ruiz lofts this one up the pitch. Some extra applied pressure. I mean, El Paso can still generate something here. Moreno shrugged off the ball.
In their last two games where they did get red cards, New Mexico, they got a red card, they lost that game 2-1. Tulsa received a red card, they lost that game 3-0. So you can see the correlation of what happens when you're struggling. And man, this is a very talented squad, very good squad. They play very well, as you've been able to see in the opening 30 minutes of this game. But they do need to keep 11 players on the field.
No team is built to play shorthanded, no matter how good they are.
They did manage to get a tie earlier in the season with a red card against Sacramento, but we've seen too many times in the USL Championship the reward that you get for having a man sent off early.
Well done there by Burks. And now Williams taps it to Firmino. He's able to swerve around. It's Hafferty once again. Taps into the middle, carried along by Gibert, but he lost possession. And that's a man who's dangerous in some space, Amando Moreno. He'll take his time. Stepping up, it's DeRoma combining inside. Beto Avila doubles the advantage for El Paso Locomotive. All they need is one opportunity, and they've capitalized on each of them. They have withstood the pressure, and the moment they have a moment, they've shined.
I thought the opportunity was lost. They were counter-attacking it, and it was 3 against 2, and they were taking their time, and you could see Lexington were doing a good job of getting numbers behind the ball, and it was taking a little bit longer for El Paso to get players up. This is absolutely phenomenal. Half turn and strike. I wish my young players were watching this. Avila making light work of the defense for Lexington. Just takes the touch out his feet and drills it across the goalkeeper into the bottom corner to give El Paso a 2-0 lead in a game where Lexington have been playing well. They've had the dominance in possession. They've been creating chances, but they haven't been able to make their chances count. And the times when El Paso have counter-attacked, they've been absolutely lethal in front of goal. Shell-shocked is the word that I'll use for Lexington right now.
You talked about Little City earlier and how they're fine not having the ball, and when they take their chances, they're putting them away. El Paso has been textbook, just hanging on one end, and then the moment they have that opportunity to strike, they have been clinical.
Yeah, and I honestly think that would have knocked the stuffing out of Lexington. I think at 1-0, they were confident, they were keeping possession of the ball, they were still creating chances. Now being 2-0 down, I think it really has an impact on the momentum again. And you can already see a little bit of changes in the body language from the players themselves. Frustration. Things aren't now going their way. Now it's about how they can regroup and react. I think if El Paso can be smart and maintain this lead going into half-time, they'll be in a fantastic position.
2 shots, 2 goals for El Paso Locomotive.
And of course, if you're El Paso, your purpose tonight is strictly to pick up the result that you need. You're not here to entertain the Lexington fans, sorry to say. For Lexington, yes, you have your home record to protect. You have your home fans who want to see you perform and move the ball in a certain way, which they've done, but they're not winning the game. For El Paso, you're over here to pick up 3 points, put some distance between yourselves and Lexington, and secure your place in the playoffs in a few weeks. And right now, a third into the game, they're comfortably in a position to do that, if they can defend well. And that's the question mark. There's still a long time to go in this game. They have a 2-0 lead. For Lexington to win, they're going to have to score 3 goals. So now it's all about how well can El Paso defend and still continue to take their moments on the counter-attack.
Rodriguez with some green in front of him, but it's closed very quickly by El Paso Locomotive. Cutting pass, be collected by Daroma. And the conversation recently for El Paso Locomotive has been to try to tighten the screws defensively. They've always been a good side on the offensive end. And the issue this season has been they've been in some topsy-turvy games where they've scored a lot, but they've conceded a lot as well. And when you get to the postseason, usually the goals come fewer and far between, Chris. And I think El Paso know that. And I mean, they're proving that they don't need to generate 100 chances to score. It's about limiting the moments on the other end for the teams playing against them. And this is an ample opportunity to show that they can hang on to these leads without having to score 4 goals to win a game.
Yeah, and I think Lexington, for the start they've had, they may be running out of gas a little bit now. You see the tempo of the game start to change a little bit. If you look just before the second goal for El Paso, Haffey and Gilbert are way up in the 18-yard box on the right-hand side of the field, and that's where the counter-attack initially springs from throwing bodies forward, being expansive. They lose possession of that ball, and that's when El Paso counter-attack into that same space that was left open. For El Paso, no, it's just really about match management. Do you have the leaders with the experience on the pitch who understand how to manage the next 10 minutes as they approach half-time? Don't give away cheap free kicks. Make sure you're tracking your runners. Make sure you're blocking shots and staying tight and compact as a block and being extremely difficult to break down. That's really the focus for El Paso for the next 10 minutes. Can they go into half-time with a 2-0 lead, giving Lexington a mountain to climb in the second half?
Introducing the LSC One membership, your season ticket to every LSC men's and women's home match in 2026. All in one package, starting at only $21 per month. Become a member today at lexsporting.com/memberships and unlock free tickets to every remaining 2025 regular season home match.
All right, you ready for my super stat?
All right, I'm here.
Okay, the last time Lexington scored 3 goals in any game was in the USL Cup in June the 28th, 2025. This isn't a team that has been known to consistently put 3 goals on the score sheet. In order to win this game, as you can see, that's going to be what they need to do. But that may be one of the few times against Richmond in the USL Cup that they've scored 3 goals in a game this season. I'll get back to you on whether that was the only time shortly.
And that's a USL League One team, and although we do love our League One teams, that's a tier below the USL Championship, so you can make the counter argument that even when they were able to score 3 goals, it was against a team from the division below you.
Okay, there you go. I mean, you might count this one. USL Open Cup first round, Lexington 5, Southern Indiana 0. That's the only time they've scored 3 goals in a game so far this season. So this isn't necessarily, if you were to go in the past, Lexington has not been a team that's been able to consistently put 3 goals in a game. They've done it twice so far this season, both in cup competitions, Open Cup and USL Cup. Really and truthfully, the writing may be on the wall for how this fixture ends tonight before we even enter the second half. But let's see, stranger things have happened.
Yeah, neither of those are against championship teams.
But they're gonna have to adapt their formation. They're gonna have to adapt players to really go out after those 3 goals. And honestly, they've had chances. It's not like they've not had chances in this first half. They've definitely had chances. Good chances. Corey Burke has been exceptionally lively, but they've not converted.
Joe Hafferty will cross that halfway line as Lexington this point, you're just hoping to get one back before the halftime whistle. Paso Locomotive currently up 2-0 on the 2 chances they've had this entire game.
And looking at Lexington, Lexington have had around 60% of the possession of the ball. They've had 4 shots, 2 on target. For El Paso Locomotive, at around 40% of possession. 2 shots, 2 on target. And I think there's no need to say what was the outcome of both of those shots on target.
Yeah. The top left corner of your screen will paint that picture for you.
Passes in the final third. Right now, Lexington have had 65 passes in the final third, compared to just 14 for El Paso.
Hometown fans, why go far when the best day is right here at home? Embassy Suites Lexington Green is your go-to spot for a weekend staycation, a night out, hosting meetings and events, or out-of-town friends. Local, loyal, and always game day ready. Ruiz rolls it out wide. Moreno knocked away from him by Hafferty, but El Paso Locomotive will hold the ball here. A 6-point affair here in the Western Conference. El Paso Locomotive traveling all the way from Western Texas to here in Kentucky.
And this is a massive win. We spoke about El Paso didn't have a great September, and we spoke about, how are they going to recover from it? You're coming away to Lexington, where we've spoken, have done a phenomenal job of making this place a fortress. Right now, you've scored 2 goals, set to walk away in what we've described as a playoff 6-point affair with a win. That's a great response to the month of September that you had. It's a show of character. It's a show of the quality that you can have when you do play, and it shows that your ability to win games. Maybe you're not going to possess the ball all the time. They're now having their little spell of possession, but it does show that they're very dangerous on the counter-attack. We highlighted pre-game that they have a number of different goal scorers who are able to get themselves on the score sheet. So it's not like you can just mark one man out the game, which you may be able to do if you take Burke out the game for Lexington. Hasn't been anybody that's really posed the same offensive threat as him. But with El Paso, there's a number of different goal scorers who can pick up the slack should you try to take out Moreno from the game, for example. So it's really a dangerous offense that you have to be careful of. And as we spoke about, the change in momentum and energy. Lexington were dominant in possession of the ball right now. Now they're the ones maintaining a low block, and El Paso 2-0 in the lead, stroking the ball out without too much pressure. Definitely a shift in momentum since that second goal that we didn't quite see after the first goal. After the first goal, it's still very much a lot of Lexington in possession. Since the second goal, things have flipped on its head a little bit.
You let one in and you could still reinforce the ideas that we're doing the right things, and it's not going to take a lot for us to get back into the game, but a 2-goal hole is, then you start asking some questions and the confidence leaks.
And you have to believe in something that you've not shown you're capable of doing too many times this season. It's one thing to believe, okay, we're a goal down, we're at home, we can come back, at least get the equalizer. It's another thing to believe, okay, we've only scored 3 goals in games twice this year, and they were not against the toughest of opponents, so to speak. Now we've got to try and do something that we've not shown we've done too many times this season. So that in itself will pose a significant challenge in the minds of the players. It's going to be really interesting to see where Terry Boss goes in terms of his team talk at halftime, his tactics at halftime, how he manipulates players, how he manipulates the formation, because they've got to go after 3 goals. Unless they're really going to leave it to these last 2 games of the season to decide their fate, they've got to go in this second half fighting.
Lexington Sporting Club is thrilled to offer Little Kickers, a nationally acclaimed youth soccer program. It's built for children ages 18 months to 9 years. Sessions are now live. Sign up at lexsporting.com/youth.
And in the live standings, you might guess where this puts Lexington right now. I'll let you share the good news, the bad news, depending on who you're supporting.
Drops them down to 8th place, the last spot right now, but that means Orange County is trying to...
It drops them down to 8th place, and Orange County sit below them, 4 points below them, with 2 games in hand. Oof. So now your playoff hopes really fall into hoping that Orange County lose those games in hand. it's not based upon yourselves anymore. Now your survival is based upon the results of the other teams around you, and that is a really tough spot to put yourself in.
Yeah, that's, once you start relying on other teams, you're in a stressful spot. Orange County play in about an hour against New Mexico United, so
if Lexington were to win tonight, they would put themselves up into 38 points, which would put them into 5th position, and then they would also separate themselves by 7 points from Orange County. So those 2 games in hand wouldn't really matter.
I mean, that just reinforces how important each of these results can be. Calvillo takes a go, and it'll be claimed by Brooks Thompson, who looks to quickly distribute, but...
When we spoke to Terry Boss during the week, he emphasized that they knew the magnitude of this fixture and the ramifications and what would need to be done. I'm not sure they have from a defensive standpoint. 2 shots, 2 goals for El Paso. They've not defended very well, in all honesty. Whilst they have been decent in attack, the foundation of being strong defensively is going to be what's going to allow them to be successful over the course of 90 minutes, especially when we've alluded most of the time they've been successful when they've kept a clean sheet. I'm not sure that was the focus of today's game. I thought they believed they could go out on the front foot and get themselves on the score sheet early, which they were unable to do, and as such they ended up conceding 2 goals.
Well, the one corner kick that El Paso took today resulted in a goal. This will come over from the left corner flag. This one a low driver, trickling through.
Almost found its way to the back post there.
Yeah. We're going to get 2 more minutes tacked on here in the first half of action. Speedy Williams doing well there. Rodriguez making a run up ahead. The ball won't reach him, at least not till now. And he was offside. Get the latest Lexington SC news right at your fingertips by downloading the official mobile app powered by Fan 360. Get access to exclusive content while shopping for season tickets and LSC gear, all in the Lexington SC Fan app.
Shock of the season, or maybe not shock of the season. I was always of the mindset like Tampa will find a way to be in the playoffs. We're not going to have playoffs without Tampa. They've always been up there competing. They're currently 2-0 down, and their chances of making the playoffs are dwindling away right in front of our eyes. Rhode Island with a 2-0 lead against them right now.
That's a tough place to play up in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. They've been showing it all season. It's been a bit of a surge as of late for Tampa, but this is definitely going to make it a lot more difficult in the final stages of the season. Side led by Dom Casciato. Came in the middle of the season. Try to steer the ship. Daroma. Release it over to the left-hand side for Moreno. He feeds it right back. Here they come again, Armando Moreno. Play will go on. And there will be a goal kick, as time is running out here in the first half of action.
Referee not convinced there was a free kick, but again, you saw the holes in that Lexington defense that El Paso were able to exploit. And it's actually been 2 players who've been positive in this half. Gilbert and Haffey going forward have been very, very lively on this right-hand side, but defensively is definitely an area that El Paso have been taking advantage of when they've been counter-attacking.
Looking for one last opportunity on the other end, Lexington. And the halftime whistle sounds. The home side, we're knocking on the door, but then El Paso Locomotive snuck in through the back door and struck twice to take the 2-0 lead on the road.
Alfaro with some great defending in the final stages of the first half there, and I think Wilmer Cabrera will be very happy with his team coming in 2-0 in the lead at halftime in a very, very difficult place to play away right now in Lexington. 6-point game, and right now the ball is in El Paso's hands extremely comfortably.
They're the ones in control, up 2-0 with 45 more minutes to go. Lexington, they're going to be tasked with doing something they haven't done in a league match this season. With that in mind, though, we'll step aside quickly for a halftime break. We'll be back with some halftime content after that here on ESPN+.
Race to the top.
You're on.
It's time to power up your old checking account. That's why Commonwealth Credit Union created Power Checking. This incredible all-in-one account powers your spending and with built-in high-yield savings, grows your balance at the same time. No minimums, no limits, just unparalleled benefits.
Raise it back down.
So kick it up a notch with Power Checking, only from Commonwealth Credit Union, the official credit union of Lexington SC.
Lexington is the Kentuckiest place in the world. Just look at it. It's by far the bluegrassiest, the bourbonist. See? The artsiest, and hands down, the horsiest. Oh, look, that one has a baby. I don't know why you would look anywhere else. Looking for the coolest, most Kentuckiest getaway? Look at Lexington.
Who is Lexington Sporting Club? We are the professional soccer team in the heart of the Bluegrass. From our Youth Academy to the Women's Super League to the Men's USL Championship team, we're building the future. From every corner of Lexington, we are united under one crest. This is your team. This is your community. Together, we are creating our story, leaving our mark. This isn't just any club. It's a club to call your own. Get your tickets today at lexsporting.com/tickets.
We live with you, build with you, grow up with you, and dream with you. At Central Bank, we belong to the same communities you do. You're our neighbors, friends, and business partners. And through the relationships we build with you every day, we consistently serve you better. That's what highly personal banking is all about. We start with you.
We're back here at the beautiful Lexington SC Stadium, one of the soccer-specific stadiums that have been built from the ground up here in the USL, and we've got some other exciting projects across the country in that category. Let's take a look at what's going on in stadium construction news.
In the USL, shovels in the ground mean as much as scoring goals. And Sacramento Republic is on its way to transforming the city's rail yard district into a soccer palace. The same is happening in the Motor City, with Detroit City's new home clearing way for stadium construction. Miami FC has unveiled its future home in South Florida, while the Pittsburgh Riverhounds prepare for their stadium expansion, preserving one of the best views in all of sports. The growth is felt as well in League One, with expansion on the way for 2026. The scene changes daily at the site of Fort Wayne's new home, from clearing the area in early June to the sweet sight of concrete and steel in mid-September. All watched closely by Fort Wayne's Director of Communication, Justin Cohn.
Thousands of people literally drive past this thing every day. So how cool is it for everyone to get a chance to see this thing every single day get closer?
Yeah, it's really cool. It's ideally located for people going to and from work, or they're driving down to Indianapolis, and you're seeing it in really at a rapid pace come up. So you're really seeing a lot of the facade of what will be the stands start to come up.
I look at the renderings. First thing I notice is this gigantic video board. So give me some of the neat things about that, because this might be the best thing in League One for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the scoreboard is something I'm really excited about. It'll be the second longest scoreboard in the entire state. So that means it eclipses an NFL stadium. You're going to have a lot of options at Fort Wayne FC Park in terms of watching the matches. There's a lot of possibilities that you can do with the scoreboard.
Fellow League One expansion club Boise is seeing its vision take shape as construction at the park at Expo, Idaho is full speed. And longtime League One club Greenville Triumph has kicked off construction at Bridgeway Station.
It's It's great to win against an MLS team, but we'll do that any Wednesday, any Saturday.
It's our house. No one comes into our house and beats us.
If you're against us, it's not going to be good for you. But if you're with us, it's the greatest day you ever had.
The Kings of Chaos strike again.
They create such a loud environment, flags waving, chants.
When the team plays, it's like we're going to battle with them.
It's always sort of that New Mexico underdog story, just waiting to happen.
Week 32 is upon us in USL Championship play, and this week on USL All Access, we have Sean Tosh, defender from Louisville City. USL Championship's all-time leader in minutes, in appearances, most goals by a defender. That means it's title time, but don't take my word for it. Incredible interview with Sean Tosh and what looks to be the run-in for one of the greatest regular seasons we've ever seen in USL Championship history. We got recaps, we got previews, we got a lot going on this week.
Leans back, it's toward Burma! What a hit!
Here's Wilson! He stays out and the Roots have a lead!
Whoa, termites can eat a pound of wood a day. Pound of wood a day.
Pound of wood a day.
Pound of wood a day.
What's wrong, Daddy? Daddy? You okay?
Keep termites out of your home and your head with our premium guarantee that covers up to $250,000 in new termite damage. Before panic shows up, Terminix it.
Tell them that's like it.
Wait, come back! Wait, come back, I need more help.
Take a load off Take a load for free.
Today we went to the beach and it was
Put the load right on me.
totally worth it. Get double points this fall at Best Western.
Who is Lexington Sporting Club? We are the professional soccer team in the heart of the Bluegrass. From our Youth Academy to the Women's Super League to the Men's USL Championship team, we're building the future. From every corner of Lexington, we are united under one crest. This is your team. This is your community. Together, we are creating our story and leaving our mark. This isn't just any club. It's a club to call your own. Get your tickets today at lexsporting.com/tickets.
We're back here for halftime between El Paso Locomotive and Lexington Sporting Club. 2-0 your scoreline in favor of the road team. We're looking to take 3 points and stave off Lexington further, as these two teams are not only looking for playoff position, but also for potentially a playoff home game. El Paso Locomotive a step closer to doing that here. Mark Schoenster, Coach Chris Nurse with you as well on ESPN+. Here's a look at some of the news and notes from around the league. First off, congratulations to Hartford Athletic winning the USL Jägermeister Cup against Sac Republic. They're playing them again right now, actually, so a little rematch there. But we talked about this a little bit in the first half, Chris. International break happening right now for some of the leagues. Of course, we're still kicking it here in the USL, but Women's Pacias and Haiti currently in a great spot to qualify for the World Cup.
Yeah, as we spoke about, so many players throughout the league with the expansion of the World Cup, and the World Cup obviously being hosted, US, Canada, and Mexico, opportunity to compete, to be playing in the summer on the biggest stage that kids normally dream of, that never really comes to reality, but it's going to be a reality for a lot of USL Championship players over the next 18 months. So fantastic to see Ruben Pacias get an opportunity. Hopefully we see the Jamaican national team get there also. US, really exciting times.
It's exciting indeed, and it's an exciting time in the USL Championship as well because we're in crunch time for the season. Here are some of the scores right now. Loudoun United clinching their playoff spot earlier today with a 1-0 victory. You're looking at these scores right now, Chris. Any of these other ones really jumping out to you?
Yeah, we touched on it a little bit. We thought Tampa Bay Rowdies may have pulled the finger out leading into the last stretch, but they're 3-0 down at halftime against Rhode Island. I think this is going to be one of the most disappointing seasons in the Tampa Bay Rowdies history. And obviously Louisville City and Miami, if Louisville City are able to get a positive result, they would have clinched the Shield. I think very well deserved. They've been outstanding over the course of the season. Danny Cruz is definitely after that playoff trophy also, though. He's not content with the regular season championship. He wants the playoffs.
For sure. Basically, the magic number there is 1 point between them and Charleston. Charleston need to get all 3 points. Louisville will have to lose for that to still be a conversation after this weekend. Here are some of the other games that are happening tonight. Mexico United and Orange County. Such a big game because Orange County trying to keep up. They have some games in hand, which could be crucial for Lexington fans in particular. Meanwhile, it's sort of a last chance saloon for Las Vegas Lights and Oakland Roots in their game at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. A lot of big games still to be had to kick off here, along with the ones that still have a second half to play, like this one. We'll step aside briefly. When we come back, we'll have that second 45 for you here on ESPN+.
Success isn't a game of chance. It's about making the right moves. Just like Lexington Sporting Club, Commonwealth Credit Union aims to win by helping you defend your goals and keeping your money on the attack. As the official credit union of Lexington Sporting Club, we're empowering success on the field and in your finances with smarter banking options and unbeatable service. Are you ready to take the lead? Then get the home field advantage for your finances, only with Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
This is where worry turns into relief. Where confusion turns into answers. This is where your family can turn to the experts for the big things and the little things. Extraordinary care is right here. UK Healthcare, the power of advanced medicine.
Race to the top.
You're on.
It's time to power up your old checking account. That's why Commonwealth Credit Union created Power Checking. This incredible all-in-one account powers your spending and with built-in high-yield savings, grows your balance at the same time. No minimums, no limits, just unparalleled benefits.
Raise it back down.
So kick it up a notch with Power Checking, only from Commonwealth Credit Union, the official credit union of Lexington SC.
Lexington is the Kentuckiest place in the world. Just look at it. It's by far the bluegrassiest, the bourbonist. See? The artsiest, and hands down, the horsiest. Oh, look, that one has a baby. I don't know why you would look anywhere else. Looking for the coolest, most Kentuckiest getaway? Look at Lexington.
We're back here at Lexington SC Stadium. 45 more minutes on the docket here on ESPN+, but before we do that, let's find out how we got to this 2-0 scoreline. Let's revisit those 2 goals scored by El Paso Locomotive, the first of which coming off a set piece.
Great in-swing and delivery here and just finds its way to the back post, uses the momentum of the ball, guides it into the far corner, giving El Paso the 1-0 lead.
Some acrobatics after the fact from Memo Diaz, his second goal of the season. Then in the 31st minute, their second shot of the game would be also their second goal of the game.
On the counter-attack, again, absolutely fantastic build-up play, precision passing, and Avila here inside the box. First touch, sets himself, drives it across the goalkeeper with a second touch. Thompson had no chance, 2-0, El Paso.
For those who are a fan of expected goals right now, it's 0.28 for El Paso to 0.23 for Lexington, which kind of helps paint the picture that we've been describing that this game has been, which is that Lexington have had the majority of control over the game. Now, it went off the rails a little bit after that second goal was scored by El Paso, where that confidence starts to waver. But the general assessment of this game is that Lexington maybe feel a little hard done by the 2-0 scoreline as it stands, but You also mentioned the moments that they've been tested defensively, it's been shaky from them and it's been cutthroat from El Paso.
Yeah, but as expected, we saw some changes at the halftime. It looks like Blessings come into the game, a very, very gifted offensive player. So they definitely made some changes to be more offensive-minded. Even though they were pretty offensive-minded in the first half, it was the defense that was a little bit shaky on those counter-attacks. They did create a number of chances, just unable to convert. But Blessings come into the game early in this second half to add a little bit more firepower in the offense for Lexington.
So there's confirmation for your 2 substitutions for Lexington. First off, Alfredo Midense subbing on for Bratilio Rodriguez. And then surely a change of shape here, Chris, because center back Gail Gilbert is the one who makes way for Latif Blessing. So
yeah, he was also one of the players on a yellow card.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was in the back of Terry Boss's mind somewhere. And again, a number of these counter-attacks were coming down the right-hand side, which was the combination of Gilbert and Hafferty, who were very good going forward in the possession of the ball, but then were getting caught out on the counter-attack. So it's just changes in that position.
Changes for El Paso Locomotive, and they were pretty clinical in that first half, so not really any changes necessitated. Cheers to local beer. West 6th Brewing is proud to be the official craft beer of Lexington Sporting Club. Find their locally crafted beers all around the state of Kentucky, from the flagship West 6th IPA to Sixer Light Lager. There's something for everyone. Head to west6th.com to visit one of their dynamic tap rooms and learn more about Stadium Ale, the official craft beer of Lexington SC.
Another yellow card given to Lexington here. Couldn't say it was justified. It's Epps picking up the yellow card. That's the 3rd yellow card of the evening. All 3 yellow cards have been issued to Lexington. Gilbert, who's now watching from the sidelines, being replaced at halftime. Williams in the middle. Now Epps has himself to the referee's book. El Paso yet to receive a yellow card in the game so far.
Yellow card brought to you by Hicks and Fumpson as Epps goes into the books. And the one falling victim to the foul, Pato Avila, our 2nd goal scorer in the game, getting 10-2 after the fact, getting some of that magic spray. Looked good so far from Coach Cabrera. Avila, with his 4th goal in league play this season, now has 4 goals, 4 assists, and that's not even accounting for the contributions he's had in Open Cup and the Jägermeister Cup. So just moments into the second half, a chance for both sides to, once again, left to their thoughts is now. Will be a set piece opportunity. Good distance away though, so we'll see if they opt to try to pop this into the 18 or if they'll just pick their position to restart. And it will be the latter. It's Kofi Chumesi, one of the members of that back line for El Paso Locomotive. So far, they've been able to hold the fort down. There's been tension. They haven't snapped. The big thing for El Paso is up 2-0. You do not need to operate with any sort of urgency with the ball at your feet.
Yeah, the El Paso operate with a more traditional back 4, but it's probably a situation where Diaz needs to stay back a little bit rather than being high and wide. It's not a situation in the game where they need him to be expansive, and and to be high and wide and leave those spaces exposed in between the centre-back and the full-back. It's more a game where he needs to be defensively, or a moment when he needs to be defensively concrete and stay connected to the back line also in order to be effective defensively.
The opposite can be said about Lexington. The aggression is certainly going to continue to uptick as this game carries along. These are the moments they got to be careful. This El Paso team so dangerous on the counter.
I mean, it's not necessarily dangerous with speed. It's just danger with quality. The right decisions at the right moment, the right passes has been the killer. It's not just been an outlet of speed into space. It's been the quality and choices in the pass. And obviously the quality in finishing. 2 chances, 2 goals. It's a 100% conversion rate.
Epps tapping it into the middle, trying to combine down the middle of the pitch. Blessing out wide to Jacob Green. Green cuts inside. Now lofts up the ball. Burke plays it back in the middle. Falls down to Ferry. Takes a couple touches, perhaps a couple touch too many. But they will be awarded with a free kick.
It was good play from Green on this left-hand side. Chopping the defender inside out. You thought the cross lacked a little bit of quality and was maybe mishit. But again, it's that boy Burke that keeps this alive, turns a bad cross into almost an assist for a goal. Just never gives up on anything. Brilliant header back into the danger area. El Paso did well to clear out the initial danger, but give away a dangerous, dangerous free kick just outside the 18-yard box, maybe 20, 23 yards outside, maybe a little bit further, 20, 25 yards. Be something spectacular to be Muramura from this distance.
Sebastian Muramura in his 8th start of the year. Usually sits in the backup role behind Jamali Waite, but he's been called into action these past 2 games with Jamaica right now. What can he do defending this set piece? Could perhaps be a moment where you try to challenge the goalkeeper directly. Firmino and Midense behind the dead ball.
Midense just coming in from the subs bench at half-time.
Midense hits the wall. Second effort, blazes through, but also wide.
Wasn't far away at all. Seems to have took a deflection as the referee points to the corner flag. The Wall does its job on the first attempt. Reacts well with the second. Strikes with his right foot, takes a free kick with his left foot, hits the rebound of his right foot. And given the slippiness of the surface, wasn't far away whatsoever.
This will be another Lexington SC corner kick presented by Commonwealth Credit Union. They'll have an option to play it short. The question will be if they'll opt to do that. Blaine Ferry sitting right by with Blessing, and it will be played short. Green. Let's chop back over to Ferry, and that's just lacking the combination they were hoping for. Here in the second half, 2-0 lead for El Paso Locomotive. Both scored in the first 45 minutes. Epps trying to dance off Daroma, and they'll get a corner kick presented by Commonwealth Credit Union. Lexington trying to maybe generate something from this set piece. That last one from the corner didn't go as planned. No one checking in short this go around. Oh, never mind. Blaine Ferry stepping into frame and will end up taking over responsibility. Ferry. It's nodded to goal, and Lexington have one back. He's been hungry for a goal all night, and Corey Burke nods it in for the home side.
been banging on the door all night, and Burke finally gets his rewards. Absolutely fantastic header. The pace on the ball. He's going away from goal and just redirects it on frame. Into the top corner, above the defender. It's Ruiz who's on the line, past Ruiz and past Mora in the net. Brilliant from Burke, putting this team, this Lexington team, onto his shoulders and trying to get them back into the game. He's been the best player for Lexington all night and finally gets himself on the score sheet, a reward that he deserves for the hard work he's put in so far in the 55 minutes of tonight's game.
His 5th goal of the season, Blaine Ferry on the service, his 3rd assist. And that gives you that glimmer of hope that both the players and the fans here at Lexington SC Stadium are looking for. There's a lot of time for an equalizer. There's also a lot of time to score 2 goals. Of course, we've already highlighted how infrequently they have hit that 3-goal mark this season, as Sebastian Mora is being tended to. It's always risky business being a goalkeeper and diving towards one of your posts, because you're trying to make a stop and you kind of forget about your body for a moment, and then suddenly...
I think it also tells you how good that header was from Burke and the momentum that Mora had to go with towards the post to try and get anything onto it, and he still wasn't able to keep it out at the back of the net. Fantastic header there from Burke.
And you run into your own woodwork, and that'll leave you a little worse for wear. Looks like he's going to be all right, though. Mora, the 27-year-old from San Diego. So now, what'll be done here by El Paso Locomotive? They've let one through, and that's going to give a boost of confidence to the home side. But the advantage remains with the visitors. Diaz does everything he can to keep it in play, but he's unsuccessful. Lexington SC fans, your USL Championship squad is back in action for their final home match of the season next Friday, October 17th at 6 p.m. The first 2,000 fans in attendance will receive an LSE-branded beanie. Be sure to purchase your tickets now at lexsporting.com/tickets.
All right, stat check. So, Lexington have managed to score 2 goals on 10 occasions so far this season. So whilst they've only managed to score 3 goals on 2 occasions, the likelihood of being able to go ahead and get another one and potentially an equalizer, it's significantly higher, given they've been able to do it 10 times so far this season. So, given the flow of the game, it is a reasonable expectation, if El Paso continue to allow the pressure to mount in this manner, that Lexington do have the capabilities to come back and get an equalizer and potentially have a point in this game.
So what will the visitors do to try to manage that? As this one falls down the penalty area. It's cleared away. A couple of blue jerseys trying to close in on it. Moreno. As DeRoma running to his right, he'll give it to him. Frank DeRoma sitting on the ball for just a moment there as he took a slip. Diaz attacking into DeRoma. Avila trying to shrug off the pressure. No whistle from our ref. Play will go on. Saw a couple of faces turn to look at the official to see if any decision had been made, and you got to play to the whistle. Blaine Ferry sends it to Firmino, who taps it out wide. Good find, Firmino. Working in the 18. Has to retreat. Hafferty, service will stay in play. Flirted with the byline, but won't cross it. Well, now they're going to say it is a goal kick.
Pressure mounting there in favor of Lexington, and Firmino is in the box there, dribbling left and right. You thought there was danger, somebody was going to dangle a leg, and end up giving away a penalty kick, but just good, patient defending there.
Watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DN, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Charleston Battery take on Birmingham Legion SFC on Saturday, October 25th at 5 p.m. Eastern on 2DN. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. And we've got another yellow card, this one given to Joe Hafferty, brought to you by Hicks and Funkson.
All right, so we are at 4 yellow cards, all in favor of Lexington right now.
Slowing down for a moment here. Paso Locomotive trying to catch their breath. Our head official, Edson Carvajal, having a chat with Avila and Hafferty. We're watching a crucial game in the Western Conference, Lexington and El Paso. Their fates have not been sealed yet, although they both sit in a playoff spot as it stands right now. We're watching on ESPN Plus, Mark Schoenster, Chris Nurse with you here on the show. Dense, one of the substitutes for Terry Boss. The twirl keeps possession for his side. Blessing does well there, recognizes the issue. Challenge from Daroma. Gives the boys in the white jerseys an opportunity to go forward. But Avila is dormant in an offside position. Had to track back for that pass, and that's going to earn the flag, and the ball goes back to Lexington. They'll quickly restart. Ferry with a good find to Epps, but brilliant. Epps has it taken away. He wins it back, though. What an opportunity going to the wayside. Kofi Chumesi just stuck his foot in there right.
Yeah, it was a brilliant interception, and then he gave away possession again. I thought the attack was still on there for Lexington. Somehow El Paso managed to survive in the end.
Jacob Green takes the left channel. Trying to swerve around Daroma, still has possession. Oh, he had Firmino waiting. Too much contact there from Kendall Burks. He doesn't like it, but the decision has been made. Amanda Moreno still down on the ground after the challenge.
You do sense momentum strongly in favor of Lexington right now, and Drago coming into the game is obviously a big addition in terms of their goal scoring capabilities. El Paso struggled to create anything meaningful on goal so far in this second half, maybe looking at a shadow of the counter-attacking team that they were in the first half. It's just allowing that confidence and pressure and momentum to build in favor of Lexington, and bringing on one of their key informed goal scorers for the last 30 minutes of this game is definitely going to have an even more positive impact going forward.
Forster Ojago in for Speedy Williams, another aggressive change for Terry Boss. And given the fact that we're having this stoppage in play, while Moreno gets checked on, Terry Boss can not only make that substitution, but then break out the X's and O's a little bit here. I wonder if he's a magnet guy or if he's a piece of paper guy. How is he describing the movements he's looking for?
Half-time he may have been kicking the magnets, kicking the boards and throwing the bottles maybe. A playoff game, and you're at home in front of your home fans and you're down 2-0. I imagine that dressing room may have been a pretty uncomfortable place at half-time, but the players have responded well so far in this second half. You have to give them that. They found a way to get themselves on the score sheet, and they continue to bang on the door for that equalizer.
Fans visit lexsporting.com to shop at the Lexington SC Team Store, your one-stop shop for destination for all of the latest LSC gear and official merchandise. From kits to scarves and hats, we've got everything you need to show off your club pride. That's lexsporting.com. "65 minutes through. One goal back for Lexington here in the second half, and they're throwing on all the offensive weapons they can as Blessing wins the ball for the home side. Slides it to Burke. Tried to chip it over the keeper. It's still loose. And they scored. No, they don't. Cleared off the line. It looked like it was going to break through. Heroic defending from El Paso Locomotive.
Starts with a bad giveaway here from Diaz, getting caught in possession by Blessing. Drives into the box, great run again from Burke. Reflex off the keeper, you think it's going here for Blessing, and cleared off the line at the last second. Trying to see who it was that gets that touch.
It was so close. We'll now get a Commonwealth Credit Union corner kick.
Looks like Tomasi was the one who got that last clearance off the line.
Wow.
And it looked like Ajaga was about to volley it in also. So much happening in the box right now.
And so much more happening. Oh my word. Once again, a close encounter. Now this time, if it had gone through, the whistle would have denied it.
Burke times these headers so well, so aggressive at attacking the ball. Attacks it, speed, pace, timing to arrive with the ball at the right moment. Referee feels the contact on Diaz was a little bit too much and awards a free kick in favor of El Paso, but Lexington going after that equalizing goal, and they're not far away now whatsoever.
They are really pushing, and El Paso Locomotive are hanging on by a thin string. Another player down for the visitors.
Yeah, El Paso just need to get themselves regroup and reorganize, get themselves to get together a little bit. They're under a little bit of pressure now. They need to weather the storm by staying compact, staying tight, defending collectively in their block, and try to build themselves back some momentum into the game with their own sustained spells of possession. But right now, the momentum is heavily in favor of Lexington.
That defensive unit for El Paso Locomotive, Kofi Chumesi, Tony Alfaro, Robert Coronado, along with the rest of the players who contribute on that end of things. Trying to lock it down defensively here in the later stages of the season. Tony Alfaro mentioning that it's been a work in progress. So by this time of the season, we're finally getting better at detailing those things in the back. And right now, it is such a thin margin as it's Memo Diaz who's getting tended to, and trot his way over to the sideline. First goal scorer in this game off that corner kick.
Looking at the remaining games for El Paso, they have Tulsa, very hard game. They also have San Antonio, which is also a pretty hard game. So this is out of those 3 games, this is really the one where they want to try to pick up those 3 points. For Lexington, their remaining 2 games will be against Sacramento and against Oakland.
Ball sent across midfield. And Memo Diaz is waved back on. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big league, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, player's choice.
Some scores from around the league. Tulsa currently leading San Antonio 1-0. Charleston leading Colorado Switchbacks 1-0 halftime. Louisville and Miami FC tied 0-0 halftime. Hartford and Sacramento tied 2-2, 69th minute. Pittsburgh currently lead Indy 1-0, and Rhode Island putting Tampa Bay Rowdies to bed 3-0 right now in the 68th minute.
Always fun to have this game. This Lexington home game wedged in with the rest of the Eastern Conference, of course. Lexington in the awkward position of being in the Western Conference, and so although they're kicking with a lot of these East Coast teams, they'll have to wait to see what the rest of the Western Conference unfurls and shows throughout the rest of today. The benefit is, if you're a fan of this Lexington team, you can finish watching this game and then tune in to one of those Western Conference games afterwards as Forrester Ajago gets some words given to him by Edson Carvajal. Robert Coronado on his back. Marcus Epps talking to our head official. Taking the captain's armband after Speedy Williams subbed out of the match. Those two voted as the captains at the beginning of the year, Epps and Williams. Two more examples of experienced players getting the chance to really show their worth throughout a season. Corey Burke getting on the score sheet after having such a positive match up to that point. On the score, El Paso Locomotive pretty much taking advantage of the two moments that were afforded them in the first half of action. And that's a tumble right in front of the goalkeeper. It was Ajago and Chumesi who went to ground.
A lot harder for El Paso to counter-attack. Lexington do a good job of getting two banks of four behind the ball very quickly when they're out of possession right now.
Moreno loose with his touch, will go out for Lexington. Lexington Sporting Club is thrilled to offer Lil Kickers, a nationally acclaimed youth soccer program built for children ages 18 months to 9 years. Sessions are now live. Sign up at lexsporting.com/youth. I think we're going to get our first yellow card for El Paso Locomotive here. And there it is. Brandished by Edson Carvajal and issued to Beto Avila, brought to you by Hicks and Funkson, his 5th yellow card of the season.
Ferry just driving through the middle of the park. From the defense, right through the heart of the midfield. Avila didn't appreciate it.
That's a heated ball going into the middle. Rafferty rolling it out to Midense. Alfredo Midense looking for a window. He does well here. Midense. Oh, it's just tapped away from him by Ricky Ruiz. Now Rafferty sends it inside, chested down by Blessing. They're still tussling for it. Midense with a slide, can't maintain possession. DeRoma going the other direction. Wrestled back by Ferry. Blaine Ferry takes a shirt tug. And another yellow card issued, this time to DeRoma, who was very intentional with what he was doing there.
2 yellow cards for El Paso in quick succession, just further elaborating on the dominance that Lexington are having right now, not just in their attack and playing possession, but in winning back the ball. Some fantastic individual brilliance there from Midense in possession. Big guy, good feet, keeps the team in possession, chopping defenders inside and out. Just missing that final pass now to create that goal scoring opportunity for the equalizer.
It's getting pretty desperate for the visitors here as DeRoma is given the yellow card, brought to you by Hicks and Funkson.
Yeah, that time that they're spending out of possession now is starting to build up and take away their energy. They're having to do a lot of chasing, a lot of running, a lot of shifting without the ball, and it's sapping their energy, creating holes in the defense. Eminently, it's going to provide a goal scoring opportunity for Lexington once again.
Another chance to test goal here. Midense and Firmino. Firmino has a go. Blaine Ferry lifts it inside. It's Corey Burke once again, but it goes straight to Moramora.
And on this occasion, the linesman's flag stayed down. Had he put this one into the back of the net, it would have counted. Unlike the one in the first half, this was probably a cleaner opportunity. The one in the first half might have been a little bit more difficult, given that the ball was a little bit behind him, but this one was directly in front of him. Just needed it to guide it towards the corner of the goal. You can see the frustration in Wilmer Cabrera. It's one thing, Corey Burke being good in the air. It's another thing when he's left completely unmarked in the box to be having those opportunities. It's incredible energy he has in that front line to put defenders under pressure consistently throughout the whole game so far.
Back in the starting lineup, and he has been making his presence felt throughout these 75+ minutes that have transpired. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Lexington on the prowl once again. DeRoma chops it away. Now they'll carry forward. Avila still on his feet. Avila, now he's knocked over.
I think that summarizes the difference from the first half to the second half. The first half, they're making good choices, keeping possession when they're on the counter-attack in the final third. So far in the second half, similar to that, when they've been able to get forward, they've turned over possession, allowing Lexington to regain the ball and come back on the attack once again.
So here comes the long throw from Kendall Burks.
No prizes for guessing who his target is going to be.
It sounds a lot like his last name. Burks launching it in.
To Burke.
And lo and behold, that's who he was searching for.
But look at the defensive effort here from Burke. Look at that.
Wow.
That's your centre forward, running past your midfielders, running past some of your defenders to get back and make the defensive challenge. He gives away a free kick, but he stops the play and now allows Lexington to get 11 players back behind the ball to defence. His mentality, his work rate, it's his effort that needs to be rewarded and applauded in this game so far.
Let's take a look at this collision here. Corey Burke tracking back, as you already pointed out.
It's not often you see number 9s with the willingness to do the dirty side of the game, or the less glorified side of the game as willing as Corey Burke is.
Let alone in nearly 80 minutes into the game. Sometimes you have a player who might try and do it for the first 10 minutes and then think, okay, I've done my part. I'm just going to try and score goals now. To do it at this moment in the game where you've been so busy and so active. So it's not even a frustration with not being involved in the game enough. He's been certainly at his time.
Since Ajago's come into the game, he's adopted like just slightly more deeper position, just dropping a little bit beneath Ajago and letting Ajago stay as the central focus point in the attacking line.
Whistle sounds and a free kick for El Paso Locomotive, and they're going to make a change, the visitors. Beto Avila, their second goal scorer, will sub out, and in comes Christian Sorto. Spent the early stages of the season with Loudoun, whom have clinched a playoff spot as of earlier today after their late winner against Detroit City. He's now, of course, here with El Paso Locomotive, looking to get very close to securing their spot here over the weekend.
Rhode Island have scored another goal there against Tampa Bay Rowdy. Scores now 4-0. Pittsburgh picked up another goal there, 2-0 up against Indy.
Lots of big games happening right now, and there are still some big games to be had here in this Saturday slate. DeRoma plays that one behind. Blessing doing what he can to keep the ball with a blue jersey. Ajago. Ten more minutes to go. Two opportunistic goals from El Paso Locomotive in the first half. Lexington have been trying to find answers here in the second. They've gotten one. Came from a corner kick to Burke. They've come awfully close a couple times since then. Launch ball into the 18, caught by Moramora. Fans, visit lexsporting.com to shop at the Lexington SC Team Store, your one-stop shop destination for all the latest LSC gear and official merchandise. From kits to scarves and hats, we've got everything you need to show off your club pride. That's lexsporting.com.
If you've just tuned in, you see El Paso leading the game 2-1. However, it's not the full story of events so far. Lexington have had 14 shots so far tonight, registering 8 on target. In comparison to El Paso in the lead, who have had just 4 shots, registering 3 on target. It's not been a problem in...
Service sent in and glances off of Chu Messi for another corner kick.
It's not been a problem in creating opportunities for Lexington. It's been more of a problem in converting those opportunities tonight.
"14 shots, 8 on target for Lexington, as it's another Commonwealth Credit Union corner kick. Blaine Ferry was able to supply Corey Burke with 1 goal from this spot. And he'll be knocked back out towards number 13. Second service. Well, that was messy. The goalkeeper was coming for it. Bit of a miscommunication between him and his defender, who's slow to get up. Now Firmino. Still Nick Firmino, back across the middle. Ajago! He had bested the keeper, but he couldn't put it on frame.
And the referee didn't blow for a free kick, so after bringing that ball down, he had the opportunity to put it into the back of the net. And unfortunately, on this occasion, he just lacked the composure to finish the play, but great tenacity to get in front of the goalkeeper. Just needed to compose himself to finish it. It was actually Soto competing with him there at the last moment. It's just coming to the game, but fantastic opportunity there for Lexington to get the equalizer. Another one goes begging. Got another interesting stat for you here. Touches in the opponent's box.
Oh boy.
So Lexington have had 24 touches in the opponent's box. How many touches in the opponent's box do you think El Paso have had?
Oh man, it can't be any more than 5.
Nope, it's no more than 2.
Wow.
And the outcome of those 2 touches?
Goals.
Sometimes that's just how the game goes.
Wow.
Unfortunately, if Lexington don't find a way to get an equalizer, the stats are going to tell a completely different story to the scoreline, but at the end of the day, it's going to be the scoreline that matters. As we spoke about, El Paso are here to do nothing more than get 3 points and put some distance between themselves and Lexington in the push for the playoffs. If the score remains the same, it's going to put Lexington into a very precarious situation going into those final 2 games. The team below them, Orange County, 4 games remaining, 2 games in hand over Lexington. Lexington will then drop, currently sit in 8th position in the standings with Orange County below them with those 2 games in hand. They'll have to take matters into their hands, they will have to win those remaining 2 games, and then they'll have to hope that Orange County drop points in their remaining 4 games.
Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights, plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. 5 more minutes of the 90 to go, though we have had quite a few stoppages here in the second half, so I would imagine we're going to get some wealthy stoppage time.
Yep, some table shifting as we speak. With Colorado currently losing, they actually drop below Lexington. Lexington would actually move up a space into 7th. Colorado would occupy the last playoff space in 8th.
Charleston Battery doing a favor to Lexington here.
So many different scenarios that could play out in these remaining few weeks of the regular season for the USL Championship.
Certainly makes it a lot of fun if you're a team that's already clinched a playoff spot, and now you can just watch all the drama unfold, knowing you've got that security already locked in place.
I think there's still some drama in these remaining 10 minutes, I'd say, of this game. El Paso, can they hold on? Lexington, can they really push it and get that equalizer? I don't think this game is over yet.
Free kick for El Paso Locomotive, and Kendall Burks is incensed. We're going to get another change here, and it's going to be one for bunkering down and trying to hang on here. Wahab Akwe is going to sub into the match. He will sub in for Memo Diaz, the man who started the goal scoring in this affair just 9 minutes into this match, off the corner kick. So Diaz goes to the bench. Akwe will help add some reinforcements defensively.
Like for like substitution, so maybe just a little bit of fresh legs or a little bit of time killing going into the final stretch of this second half.
DeRoma has a lot of room to operate. DeRoma back across the middle! It's off the crossbar! Thompson just got enough of it. Oh, that seemed like a guarantee for El Paso.
I told you there was still drama left in this game, and if El Paso don't run away winners, they only have themselves to blame in this situation. Great decision here from DeRoma. Lays it off. This should be nothing but the net breaking. Keeper manages to get something, pushes it onto the crossbar, comes back to DeRoma. Ends up being a fantastic block in the end that sends the ball out for a corner kick. Similar situations at both ends in the second half, but fantastic opportunity for El Paso to really put this game to bed.
Moreno could have iced it for his team. Brooks Thompson got enough on that ball to knock it against the woodwork. And now a corner kick. Ruiz, a lot of air to that one. And it's out for a goal kick. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Ajago. Squaring it to Midense, who pops it back out to Ajago, and it's cleared away. The USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Of course, you got to get Burks here on this throw.
That Burks to Buck connection again. Let's see how it pays off this time.
Mora able to handle it. Two bodies were there right in front of him, and he'll kill as much time as he can. Basically straddling the ball before picking it up.
Into the last minute of regulation time. El Paso trying to hold on in a period of time when they could have had a little bit of a break with a 2-goal lead, but unable to convert due to some fantastic goalkeeping, but maybe a little lackluster finishing at the same time.
Yeah, that's one you gotta put away. Armando Moreno too, he knows how to do it. Epps slices that one through. Going down, there's Ajago, it's Epps again.
Brilliant defending there from El Paso. Staying on their feet, winning the ball. Now they're on the counter-attack.
Gabby Torres tearing down the pitch. And he wipes out. Look who's right there with them, number 99. Oh, all right, buckle in. 10 more minutes. No, that is not a substitution.
It's a long time to go. Not sure where the 10 came from, given in the first half, I think we had just 4, was it? Was it 4, 2?
I think it was just 2
minutes.
minutes.
Two in the first half. Not sure where the 10s come from in the second half, but that definitely goes in favor for Lexington here.
There's certainly been some stoppages here, but I don't know if anything has indicated that, though. 10 more minutes. Lexington have 15 shots, 8 on target. To be fair, El Paso, in their 6 shots, 4 of them have been on target. So this has just been a game where both sides have been begging for goals. We've got 3 of them, and we really should have more. The tension just so rampant here in Lexington, Kentucky. This game just means so much to these two sides. Currently in the bottom half of the playoff table in the Western Conference. Right now, actively El Paso Locomotive are sitting in 4th place because San Antonio's game just got started and they're trailing out the gates in the first 45 minutes. FC Tulsa taking a lead there. San Antonio still have a game in hand, though, on El Paso Locomotive, so that's something to monitor. Meanwhile, Lexington and Colorado Springs both losing at the moment. Phoenix Rising getting 3 points on the road last night against North Carolina FC, a huge result for Pamudu Cosmen.
Well, I know we were at 10 minutes. I think we may see closer to 12 now, given this extended stoppage. El Paso were able to get themselves on the score sheet from a corner kick early in the first half.
Corner kick for El Paso Locomotive. Eric Calvillo. Driving it inside, knotted down by Ajago. Blessing, able to release it to his right. Midense has Ajago running. Does well to get by one man, but the second challenge wins the ball back for El Paso. A lot of keep away will be played now by the boys in the white jerseys.
The key for El Paso now is, can they control the possession of the ball, dictate the tempo of the game, manage key moments.
Mora put some air under it. Decision will be Lexington ball. Blaine Ferry has the lone assist for Lexington in this game off the corner kick. Here's Epps. Marcus Epps, such quality, sends it in the middle, squared across! Another save from Mora. Corey Burke hungry for a brace. It wasn't to be. Sebastian Mora down once again, putting his body on the line.
Epps delivers a dangerous box to the ball into the back post to Ajago, who heads it across for Burke. And just when you think the equalizer's there, Mora scrambles across and keeps out the back of the net. Fantastic save.
Mora not the only person ailing, as a right ankle looks to be in the hands of player for El Paso Locomotive. Mora still being tended to in the goal as well. Kofi Chumesi, the one by the corner who's hurting. Tough day in the office for Edson Carvajal, our head official, who Now once again has to assess how much more time he's going to have to manage. So although, of course, this game is chock full of tension, there's still 2 more uber important matches for these two sides. The home game finale for Lexington against Sac Republic, and then a road trip to Oakland, which, who's to say how pivotal that game will be? The Oakland Roots trying to survive here late in the season. They're certainly on the cusp of elimination, but a couple of good results. If Lexington can't find one here, that game could prove to be super pivotal. Meanwhile, for El Paso Locomotive, that is a tough final 2 games to close with. But if you get a win here, you're very close to clinching a playoff spot. And then at that point, you want the chance to test yourselves against these 2 teams.
And I think there's still 10 minutes left of additional time. I don't think this is stopping at 10 whatsoever. There's been a fantastic chance for El Paso to take the lead 3-1. They didn't take it. Fantastic chance for Lexington to get the equalizer 2-2. Mora wasn't allowing it. There's still plenty of opportunities left in this game.
It has been a compelling match between El Paso Locomotive and Lexington Sporting Club. Will it have a dynamic conclusion as this one skips wide? No contact. It'll be a goal kick.
I think if there's one thing that has been impressive from Lexington, it's the 1v1 abilities of their players in the attack, whether it was Rodriguez in the first half, whether it's been Epps, whether it's been Midense since he's coming into the field. Very, very good players when they're isolated in 1v1 situations, able to beat their man and deliver the ball with quality on the inside and on the outside.
And they continue to recollect the ball in the middle of the pitch. The desire is there. The want, the need is evident. Ball bent into the middle. Ajago trying to knock it in. They scored in 4 of their last 5 home matches. Is trying to make it 5 of 6.
Epps has been continuously dangerous throughout the course of this game. Just driving inside and delivering those curled balls. Whether it's been to Burke or whether it's been to Ajago since he's come into the game, consistently posing a threat from those situations.
Midense making that run down the right-hand side. Bit off more than he could chew there. There were 3 white jerseys around him. Two substitutions readying for Coach Cabrera.
At this phase, it may just be able to provide some fresh legs. It may just be to tick a couple more seconds off the clock and time wasting, try to manage the time a little bit better.
Yeah, we're gonna get close here to hitting those 10 minutes added on, but we've had so much stoppage here in the added time. Epps keeps it in bounds, whips it in the middle. And another corner kick incoming for Lexington, a Commonwealth Credit Union corner kick.
I would say Tomasi has been massive for El Paso in defense tonight, coming up big in many, many key moments. If it wasn't for him, I'm pretty certain this scoreline wouldn't be reflective of what it is right now. He's been a man mountain at the back.
So 2 changes. Brian Romero makes his 8th appearance of the regular season. And Emiliano Rodriguez making his 10th. Some young blood here, 21 years old and 22 years old. As this corner kick is brought in by Ferry. And it's not out of the woods, cleared out. go. Another Commonwealth Credit Union corner kick. This one will be taken over from the opposite vantage point.
In swinging left-footed delivery, Medense has shown he's got quality as a player since he's come into the game.
A lot of arc on that ball. Mora falls on top of it.
That one was probably floated just a little bit too high.
Grabbing the back of his head, Sebastian Mora.
He really has to contemplate whether he feels like this is a moment worth adding additional time onto the clock. Whilst he may have felt some contact, he also needs to take into consideration the referees adding all of this additional time into the game, and it's building in favour of Lexington right now, wave after wave of attack. Brilliant defending there from Soto.
We've talked a lot about the postseason and the implications of the postseason in this match. I guess we were so excited about the postseason, we decided to imitate it by hitting over 100 minutes played here. 101, and who's to say how much more to come? Oh boy. There's an intent conversation from Coach Boss to our fourth official mentioning, look, I know we've hit our 10 minutes, but just remember how much time needs to be added on top of that. Intensity of this match, the kind of the intensity you anticipate in just a couple weeks once it's knockout soccer here in the USL. Both of these teams want to be a part of it.
We're now deep into the additional time of additional time. There was 10 minutes of additional time. Really can't tell you how much is still to be played, but I'm guessing we're going to get close to 15 before the referee blows the final whistle.
Ferry. Just roll it to his right. Firmino. Good find to Medense. He'll lift it up. Epps brings it down.
Quality of the pass was perfect. The timing of the run was perfect. Unfortunately, the final cross.
Ball sent inside. Knocked away. That's well done there from El Paso.
Probably could have been better one. That ball needed to go higher and far into their attacking half. Great interception.
And now they'll kill some more of the clock here. Do as much dribbling as possible and draw a free kick in the process. Joe Hafferty, intense. He's on a yellow card, by the way.
Lexington about to lose at home for the first time in a long time. El Paso doing their best to correct what was a miserable September.
To start off October, they're looking at right now 7 points of the 9 potential points they could have earned in these first 3 October matches, so certainly flipping the script should the results stand. And that's the big if here.
Looking at the time, Lexington just need to get this ball forward. It's not about connecting 5, 15, 16 passes at the back. It's about how quick can they get the ball forward and try to create at least one more opportunity before the ref blows the final whistle.
Jacob Green playing it out wide to Epps. He's done well in these 1v1 situations. Epps, the service, teasing to the 6-yard box, and Mora will fall on the ball, try to run out more of this clock.
Confusion with Epps is that he can take you down the line on his left foot, or he can cut in and deliver balls with his right foot. Really difficult for defenders to mark when he's driving and running with the ball at you at speed.
Over 100 minutes of hard-fought footy here at Lexington SC Stadium. El Paso Locomotive, their first time playing at this venue. Hoping that their 100 minutes of effort will be enough to walk away with 3 points.
Good play there from Rodriguez, just tenacious, keeping his team in possession, fighting for possession. The ball wins his team a free kick high up the field.
Thought about playing in the middle and then decided to go to the corner to see this game through. And the final whistle sounds for over 105 tension-filled minutes. El Paso Locomotive hang on the road, claiming all 3 points in Lexington.
Lexington will be heartbroken at losing this game, but for El Paso, job well done. While it may not have been the most beautiful game on the eye, they lead with 3 points. It was an effective performance, an effective win. Gives them some breathing space between themselves and Lexington. For Lexington now, 2 games left where they really have to pick up points. They've got to leave it down to the wire to secure their playoff qualification. A lot of focus and determination going into the final stages of the USL Championship season.
Final stages of the championship season, and we're entering the final stages of our broadcast. After this break, we'll have our post-game thoughts here on ESPN+.
We live with you, build with you, grow up with you, and dream with you. At Central Bank, we belong to the same communities you do. You're our neighbors, friends, and business partners. And through the relationships we build with you every day, we consistently serve you better. That's what highly personal banking is all about. We start with you.
Success isn't a game of chance. It's about making the right moves. Just like Lexington Sporting Club, Commonwealth Credit Union aims to win by helping you defend your goals and keeping your money on the attack. As the official credit union of Lexington Sporting Club, we're empowering success on the field and in your finances with smarter banking options and unbeatable service. Are you ready to take the lead? Then get the home field advantage for your finances, only with Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
Who is Lexington Sporting Club? We are the professional soccer team in the heart of the Bluegrass. From our Youth Academy to the Women's Super League to the Men's USL Championship team, we're building the future. From every corner of Lexington, we are united under one crest. This is your team. This is your community. Together, we are creating our story and leaving our mark. This isn't just any club. It's a club to call your own. Get your tickets today at lexsporting.com/tickets.
We're back for our final thoughts here from Lexington SC Stadium. A dramatic 2-1 victory on the road for El Paso Locomotive. The train making its way all the way over to Kentucky, and it'll be riding back with 3 points. Mark Schoenster, Chris Nurse with you here on ESPN+. Let's take a look at the goals in this one. It started off early, 9th minute, Memo Diaz knocking it home. It was a stunner early on in this game because at that point in time, Lexington were looking the better side. They get their first opportunity. Diaz takes advantage of it, but that wouldn't be as shocking as the second goal being scored by Beto Avila after 30 minutes of what had been Lexington control. It was 2 chances, 2 goals for El Paso Locomotive.
Just good decision-making, good quality. Avila, first touch, swivels on the half turn, drills it into the bottom corner, gives El Paso 2-0 lead and control of the game.
Up 2-0 in the second half. Lexington would find a response, though, and Corey Burke, who was such an impact player in the game, rightfully gets on the board.
Burke had been banging on the door all night. On this occasion, a fantastic header from a very difficult angle. Manages to beat El Paso, and he gets himself on the score sheet. One of the best performances tonight from Burke.
I mean, that stat line goes to show you just how dramatic this game was. 13 shots on target combined, 18 shots total for Lexington. They're going to feel hard done that they weren't able to get at least a point out of this game. But hey, sometimes soccer can be a cruel game.
Yeah, there's definitely many positives that Lexington can take out of this game, but sometimes it hurts even more when you look at these statistics and you look at the scoreline. Sometimes that pain can dwell a little bit longer, but there's definitely significant positives that they continue to build on going into these last 2 games. I thought their ball movement was good, very good in attacking situations, good 1v1 players, created a number of chances. I would say unlucky, maybe not unlucky, just need to be a little bit more assertive in front of goal in converting those chances.
They will stay at home for their home finale against Sacramento Republic. Meanwhile, it will be their home finale against FC Tulsa for El Paso Locomotive. But El Paso Locomotive right now, they're looking at a home playoff game, of course. San Antonio is currently trailing FC Tulsa at halftime 1-0, so that could change depending on how that game unfolds. And they still have a game in hand, which could bring them all the way back up to 40, which would equal El Paso Locomotive. So it's coming down to the wire in that conversation, just like who is actually going to be in the playoffs is going to come down to probably the final week here. It's just so much drama, and we are all here for it on ESPN+. So can't wait to get the results of how the season's going to conclude. With that in mind, there are a lot of games you can tune into for the rest of this evening to see more of this tension. But this is where the end of our show will be here on ESPN+. For our entire broadcasting crew, for Chris Nurse, my name is Mark Schoenster. We all thank you for tuning in. We hope you have a fantastic night, and we'll see you next time. El Paso Locomotive victorious on the road. 2-1 your final score. We'll see you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.